My name's Mark Smith. I'm the curator here at Adelaide Zoo, and we're really excited about our forthcoming event, Light Creatures, which is part of Illuminate Adelaide. And we're very grateful to our sponsors, SA Power Networks, who've enabled us to have this spectacular event. So of course, one question many of you would have is, how are we having this event at night in the zoo with all the animals still here, and how are we maintaining their welfare? It's a really good question. You should know that this has actually been an event many months in the planning. We've been really strategic to make sure that the pathway allows the best experience for our visitors, but also it keeps some of our animals who would be a bit more stimulated by the lighting off the pathway, and so they can have a more comfortable evening during Light Creatures. So during Light Creatures we have a number of special effects that are part of the experience, and they involve both a mister that produces sort of a foggy haze and also some soundscapes. So the mister, the foggy haze, is a water-based haze. It's actually way less impactful than any of the rainfall we've had over the last few weeks. So it's perfectly safe for the animals, and the soundscapes are really pretty low key, and they've been positioned in places where they will not impact the animals as well. We've actually had samples of the soundscapes to make sure there are frequencies that would be totally suitable for the animals, and we're really comfortable that the whole experience will be of minimal impact. So despite all the precautions that we've taken when setting up Light Creatures, we've been doing a lot of research obviously, and monitoring all of the different kinds of devices and lights and soundscapes and special effects that are being used. We're actually being even more cautious, and we're monitoring the animals throughout the process of actually setting up Light Creatures, taking down Light Creatures, and throughout the entire event.
My name's Chad, I'm the senior keeper of birds here at Adelaide Zoo. Our pelicans are one of the key features during Light Creatures. A lot of people might wonder though how the animals might deal with the lights and how we got them used to it. Well, what we did was a really cool light trial where we got some of the lights that we'll be using and set them up so that we could slowly introduce them to our pelicans. And then we'd monitor behaviour and check that they were eating, and everyone was happy with what was going on. Well, what we saw was really interesting. Most of the pelicans actually chose to come over and sleep by the lights during the evening while we were doing our trial. So they seem to really enjoy the difference. It makes them pop in the light. They look absolutely incredible. But also it's different and interesting for them, and so we seem to think that they found it enriching.
So many of you would be wondering what it would be like for the animals at night with the lights and the sound, and you should know that normally at night at the zoo it's a very active, busy place. When you go to bed at night you might pull the blind down or even put a sleeping mask on, but at the zoo it's actually a hive of activity, and there's a lot of light and sound at the zoo at night. Light from nearby organisations and from the city, and sound obviously from traffic and sirens and other things. And the animals are really accustomed to that, they're habituated to that. And so Light Creatures, although it will be new and novel, it probably won't be that different to what they experience normally anyway. And you can imagine at night, for example, a giraffe, they see possums running around, and there's a whole lot of activity. And so this is just another addition to the kinds of things that they might encounter during a normal night at the zoo anyway.
So come along this July and see Light Creatures here at Adelaide Zoo.